The brain failure. Your brain is the control center of everything you are. Not just movement, not just thoughts, everything. Personality, memory, emotion, fear, language, identity, reality, itself. And when the brain fails, humans don't just become sick. They can become completely different people. A stroke can instantly paralyze half the body because blood flow to brain tissue suddenly stops. But paralysis is only one version of brain failure. Some people lose speech while still understanding language perfectly. Their thoughts remain normal internally, but their brain can no longer convert thoughts into words correctly. Others lose the ability to recognize faces, including their own family members. There are conditions where people stay physically alive but permanently lose memory formation. Imagine waking up every day unable to properly store new experiences. And then there's Alzheimer's disease, one of the most terrifying diseases humans know, because it slowly erases the person while leaving the body behind. Memories disappear first, then recognition, then personality, then independence. Eventually, some people forget how to eat, speak, or understand where they are. The brain literally begins collapsing inward biologically. Then there's traumatic brain injury. One hit to the head can permanently alter behavior. Calm people become aggressive. Responsible people become impulsive. Emotion disappears. Empathy disappears. Because personality is not magic. It's biology. Even sleep deprivation starts damaging the brain frighteningly fast. After enough time awake, the brain begins microsleeping without permission. Tiny sections shut down temporarily while the body is still technically awake. That's when hallucinations begin. Reality itself starts breaking apart. And the scariest part? A damaged brain often cannot recognize its own damage, which means the system responsible for detecting problems is the thing malfunctioning. The lung failure. Breathing feels automatic because your body hides how important it is. But oxygen is basically biological fuel. Every cell depends on it constantly. Your lungs contain millions of microscopic air sacs called alveoli where oxygen enters the bloodstream and carbon dioxide leaves. And if those structures get damaged, survival becomes difficult very quickly. Smoking destroys alveoli permanently. Once enough are damaged, breathing starts feeling like inhaling through a narrow straw forever. That's emphysema. Then there's pneumonia. Infection fills lungs with fluid and inflammation until oxygen transfer becomes harder. People can technically breathe while still slowly suffocating internally. Asthma narrows airways suddenly. COPD slowly traps people in declining lung function over years. Pulmonary fibrosis scars lung tissue until the lungs become stiff and inefficient. And then there's pulmonary embolism. A blood clot travels into the lungs and blocks circulation suddenly. Some people feel slightly short of breath. Others collapse instantly. Humans only truly understand the importance of breathing when air becomes difficult to get, because once oxygen disappears, nothing else matters anymore. Not money, not status, not goals, just breathing. The blood vessel failure. Your blood vessels are highways stretching across the entire body. If they weaken, narrow, rupture, or block, organs begin dying. Aneurysms happen when vessel walls weaken and balloon outward. Sometimes they remain silent for years, then suddenly rupture. And internal bleeding begins catastrophically fast. High blood pressure slowly damages blood vessels constantly. Tiny, microscopic injuries happen daily until organs begin suffering long-term damage. Then there's atherosclerosis, fatty plaque buildup inside arteries. Blood flow narrows gradually until clots form. That's how many strokes and heart attacks happen. Not instantly, but through years of silent damage finally reaching a breaking point. And because humans cannot feel blood vessels deteriorating, the body often appears healthy externally while internal damage quietly progresses. The immune system failure. Your immune system is basically biological warfare happening inside you constantly. Every second, immune cells identify threats, destroy infected cells, remember viruses, and coordinate defense strategies. And when this system fails, it fails in terrifying ways. Sometimes it becomes weak. Viruses, bacteria, fungi, and infections suddenly become life-threatening because the body cannot defend itself properly anymore. People with severely weakened immune systems can die from infections healthy. People barely notice. Then there's autoimmune disease. The immune system attacks the body itself. Your defense system misidentifies your own organs as enemies. The body can attack joints, skin, thyroid, nerves, intestines, muscles, eyes, brain tissue. Some people wake up one day with their immune system permanently attacking them for the rest of their life. And modern medicine still doesn't fully understand why. Then there's sepsis, one of the deadliest failures possible. An infection triggers such an extreme immune response that the body starts damaging itself systemically. Blood pressure crashes. Organs fail. Inflammation spreads everywhere. The defense system becomes more dangerous than the original infection. The digestive failure. Digestion looks passive, but it's actually one of the most chemically violent processes in the body. Your stomach contains acid strong enough to dissolve many materials. Your intestines absorb nutrients through millions of microscopic folds. Your liver filters toxins constantly. Your pancreas controls digestive enzymes. Your gallbladder manages bile. And if this system fails, the entire body weakens. Liver failure causes toxins to accumulate inside the bloodstream because the body can no longer filter waste properly. Jaundice begins. Confusion begins. Organ damage spreads. Kidney failure prevents waste removal entirely. Without dialysis or transplant, toxins slowly poison the body from within. Inflammatory bowel diseases create chronic pain, bleeding, nutrient loss, and exhaustion. Ulcers literally erode tissue lining. And then there's internal bleeding, which humans often don't notice immediately because bleeding inside the body can remain invisible until massive damage has already happened. Your digestive system is not just about eating. It's energy extraction for survival itself. The blood failure. Blood looks simple, but it's one of the most complex survival systems in the body. It transports oxygen, nutrients, hormones, immune cells, heat, and waste. And if blood stops functioning properly, everything suffers. Anemia reduces oxygen delivery and causes exhaustion. Leukemia creates cancer inside blood-producing tissues. Blood clotting disorders can either cause uncontrolled bleeding or dangerous clots that kill people instantly. A clot in the brain causes stroke. A clot in the heart causes heart attack. A clot in the lungs blocks breathing. The scary thing is that blood constantly balances between too thin and too thick. Too far in either direction becomes deadly. The nerve failure. Your nervous system is electrical wiring made of biology. And when nerves fail, communication inside the body breaks down. Damaged nerves can create paralysis, numbness, burning pain, muscle weakness, loss of coordination, or complete sensory failure. Some people lose the ability to feel temperature. Others lose balance permanently. Diseases like multiple sclerosis slowly damage the protective coating around nerves, making signal transmission unreliable. Imagine your brain sending commands to your body, but the messages arrive corrupted. That's neurological failure. And because nerves regenerate slowly or sometimes not at all, damage can become permanent. The hormone failure. Hormones control nearly everything humans feel: mood, growth, sleep, stress, sex, drive, energy, metabolism, appetite, motivation. Tiny chemical imbalances can completely alter personality and behavior. Low thyroid hormone slows the body down dramatically. People feel exhausted constantly, cold constantly, mentally foggy constantly. Too much thyroid hormone does the opposite: anxiety, rapid heartbeat, weight loss, panic, restlessness. Then there's diabetes, one of the largest biological failures in modern society. Insulin regulation breaks down, causing blood sugar control to fail. And because glucose powers cells, the entire body suffers. Eyes, nerves, kidneys, blood, vessels, heart, everything gets damaged. Gradually, hormonal disorders can make people feel emotionally destroyed without understanding why. Sometimes biology changes before identity notices. The bone failure. Humans think bones are static structures. They're not. Bones are living tissue constantly rebuilding themselves. And when that rebuilding system weakens, bones become fragile. Osteoporosis slowly turns bones porous and brittle. A small fall suddenly becomes life-threatening. Hip fractures in elderly people can permanently destroy mobility and drastically shorten lifespan. Then there are spinal failures. Discs between vertebrae can rupture or compress nerves. Pain shoots through the body electrically. Some people permanently lose movement or sensation because spinal nerves got damaged. Then there's bone cancer, infection, and degenerative joint disease. Even posture matters more than people realize. Years of bad movement patterns slowly reshape the body structure itself. Your skeleton is not permanent architecture. It's constantly adapting and constantly vulnerable. The muscle failure. Muscles do more than movement. They stabilize joints, generate heat, protect posture, control breathing, assist circulation, and muscle failure can become catastrophic. Muscular dystrophy slowly weakens muscles over time through genetic defects. Some diseases attack communication between nerves and muscles, causing paralysis-like weakness. Then there's rhabdomyolysis. Muscle tissue breaks down so aggressively that proteins flood the bloodstream and damage kidneys. Extreme overexertion can literally poison the body through muscle destruction. And humans lose muscle surprisingly fast. Long hospital stays, inactivity, aging, malnutrition, or disease can rapidly weaken physical function. Your body is designed around movement. Without movement, deterioration accelerates. The skin failure. Skin looks simple, but it's one of the most important survival systems humans have. It protects against infection, regulates temperature, prevents dehydration, and acts as a barrier between your organs and the outside world. Severe burns become deadly because the body loses that protection. Fluids escape. Bacteria enter easily. Temperature regulation collapses. Then there are skin cancers. Melanoma can spread aggressively through the body if not caught early. Autoimmune skin disorders can cause the immune system to attack skin itself. And infections that seem small externally can become deadly internally if bacteria enter the bloodstream. Humans underestimate skin because it's visible constantly, but it's basically biological armor. The sensory failure. Your senses are survival tools. And when they fail, reality changes completely. Blindness removes visual navigation. Deafness changes communication and spatial awareness. Loss of smell sounds minor until you realize smell warns humans about fire, gas leaks, spoiled food, toxins. Then there's vertigo, a failure in balance. Systems causing reality to feel like it's spinning uncontrollably. People can become unable to stand despite technically having functional muscles. There are also disorders where pain signals malfunction completely. Some people feel severe pain from harmless touch. Others cannot feel pain at all, which sounds useful until you realize pain prevents self-destruction. Without pain, humans damage themselves accidentally constantly. The genetic failure. Every human body is built using genetic instructions, and sometimes those instructions contain errors. Some people inherit diseases before they're even born. Others carry hidden mutations that activate later in life. Cancer itself is partially genetic failure. Cells stop obeying the normal rules. Healthy cells know when to grow and when to die. Cancer cells ignore both instructions. They become biologically selfish. And once uncontrolled growth begins, the body essentially starts being consumed from within by its own mutated cells. The horrifying thing about genetic failure is randomness. Sometimes healthy people do everything correctly and still get devastating diseases because biology itself malfunctioned. The reproductive failure. Human reproduction is biologically complicated and extremely fragile. Infertility can happen through hormonal imbalance, structural problems, low sperm production, immune disorders, genetic conditions, or unknown causes. Pregnancy itself is incredibly dangerous biologically. Blood pressure disorders, hemorrhage, infection, organ stress, and complications during childbirth can become fatal rapidly. The human body can literally create another human while simultaneously risking its own survival doing it. And reproductive systems also affect hormones, emotions, development, and long-term health far beyond reproduction itself. The mental failure. Mental illness is biological suffering that people often cannot physically see. Depression can destroy motivation so completely that basic survival tasks feel impossible. Anxiety disorders trap the nervous system in constant threat mode. PTSD forces the brain to relive trauma repeatedly. Schizophrenia can distort reality through hallucinations and delusions. Addiction rewires reward systems until substances become prioritized above survival itself. And the terrifying thing about mental failure is invisibility. People may look completely normal, externally while internally fighting neurological chaos every single day. The brain can survive physically while psychologically collapsing. The sleep failure. Sleep is not optional rest. It's maintenance. During sleep, memory gets processed. Toxins get cleared from the brain. Hormones regulate. Tissue repairs. Immune systems recover. Without sleep, humans deteriorate frighteningly fast. Thinking slows. Emotions destabilize. Reaction speed drops. Hallucinations begin. Long-term sleep deprivation increases risks for heart disease, obesity, depression, diabetes, immune dysfunction, and cognitive decline. Eventually, exhausted brains stop processing reality correctly. Sleep is not wasted time. It's biological survival repair. The aging failure. Aging is slow system collapse. Cells accumulate damage faster than repair mechanisms can fix them. DNA mutates. Recovery slows. Muscles weaken. Bones thin. Memory declines. Your body spends your entire life fighting entropy. Eventually, entropy wins. And that's the strange thing about the human body. It's unbelievably resilient in the short term, but brutally temporary in the long term. The pain failure. Pain exists to protect you, but sometimes pain itself becomes broken. Chronic pain disorders cause suffering long after injuries heal. The nervous system becomes hypersensitive. Some people experience severe pain from tiny stimuli. Others feel pain with no visible injury at all. And then there's the opposite. People born unable to feel pain. Which sounds useful until you realize pain prevents self-destruction. Without pain, people accidentally damage themselves constantly. Pain is miserable, but without it, survival becomes even harder. The reality failure. This might be the strangest body failure of all. Your senses do not show reality directly. Your brain constructs reality from electrical signals. Sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, their interpretations, meaning your perception can fail. Hallucinations, vertigo, derealization, phantom sensations, memory distortions. Even optical illusions prove your brain constantly edits reality. Humans experience the world through biological approximation, not objective truth. Your entire existence depends on the brain successfully translating chaos into understandable experience. And sometimes that translation system breaks. The human body is one of the most advanced systems ever created. And yet it's held together by fragile chemistry, electrical signals, soft tissue, bacteria, fluids, genetic code, and constant biological improvisation. You are not a machine. You are a temporary biological balancing act. Every second your body is fighting disease, aging, cell damage, mutation, stress, infection, gravity, entropy, and time itself. And somehow, it still keeps you alive, which might actually be the most impressive thing about being human. Subscribe for more such explanation videos.